Welcome to Costa Rica, a blue zone, world-renowned tropical paradise known for its stunning natural beauty, surf and yogi community, friendly locals, and vibrant culture. Jamie and I traveled there for 3 months trying to figure out if this could become our second home base, and I think our final answer will truly surprise you. We've traveled from east to west, staying in multiple locations, and in this video, I'll break down everything you need to know about making Costa Rica your next destination. This was actually my 11th time in Costa Rica, so based on my experience, I'll be rating the lifestyle, the ability to make friends, food, security, and the cost of living. Pura Vida, let's get into it. You've arrived at your destination. Lifestyle. I think that the first thing that attracts digital nomads to Costa Rica is the lifestyle. There's this laid-back vibe, a huge yogi and surfers community, the healthy living options, and a calling to be closer to nature. The pace of life here is slower, which can be a very welcome change if you're coming from a busy city life. For party people, yes, there are destinations for that, such as Tamarindo, for example, but I would definitely say that Costa Rica's lifestyle is mainly focused on health, outdoors, nature, and slow living. The slow pace might take some getting used to, especially when it comes to things like internet speed, getting work done, or getting fast service for just about anything. To be honest, as a digital nomad, the internet thing scared us a bit. In 3 months, we've experienced 2 major power outages that lasted the whole entire day and multiple smaller ones that would last anywhere from 20 minutes up to an hour. It was manageable, but if your job requires you to be connected at all times, this will definitely add an extra layer of stress to your Costa Rican nomad experience. For nomads, I feel that Costa Rica is not the place that's buzzing with co-working cafes, nomad meetups, and so on. Also, if you're not into nature, the beach, and surfing, I mean, you might get bored at some point. I'm not saying that as a negative at all. I think it's just to be considered. Personally, I'm into surf, yoga, and if I go to Costa Rica, it's because I need that slower pace of living. Therefore, my personal rating for Costa Rica's lifestyle is an 8 out of 10, losing 2 points for the internet and the lack of diversity outside of the things that I've mentioned. Making friends. Now let's talk about making friends in Costa Rica. Even though the expat and digital nomad community is growing fast, we actually found that making friends in Costa Rica was difficult compared to other nomadic hubs that we visited, such as Medellin in Colombia, for example. And surprisingly, in 3 months, we did not make friends at all. I mean, we genuinely tried, and even though we connected with a lot of people on organized tours, activities, or yoga classes, there's nothing that was like a long-lasting relationship. For us, the best ways that we found to make friends were by hanging out in hostels and group tours like hiking a volcano or any other organized activity. If you're hoping to make friends with locals, who are super friendly by the way, knowing how to speak Spanish will go a very long way, kind of like everywhere in Latin America, but it's note saying that without speaking Spanish, it makes things a little bit harder. So for the ability to make friends and the lack of gathering that we have witnessed, I would rate Costa Rica a 6 out of 10. You will make friends, however, there are simply not as many events as we typically see in major hubs. Food. You know how much I love talking about food. All right, so Costa Rican cuisine is simple but flavorful, and it has a focus on fresh ingredients. You will find plenty of rice and beans, fresh fruits, and delicious seafood. There's also many options for international cuisine, especially in the more touristy areas. But if you love fresh, healthy food, you will feel right at home in Costa Rica. Important to note, this is also an easy destination for pescatarians, vegetarians, and vegans as well. So for digital nomads who are staying longer, there's always a grocery store nearby, and there's no shortage of options to buy fresh foods, cook your own meal, and save a lot on money there. Costa Rica is a blue zone country, and I think that it's mainly because of the food and lifestyle. Okay, it is important to note, eating out in Costa Rica has become quite expensive, and a good meal will easily reach over 150 USD. A coffee is on average $6 to $8, but I'll talk more in depth about the cost of living later. So in terms of food quality, freshness, flavor, I am ranking Costa Rica's food a 9 out of 10. Security. When it comes to security, Costa Rica is considered one of the safest countries in Central America. Most areas that are popular with expats and digital nomads are extremely safe, but just like anywhere in the world, it's important to stay aware of your surroundings and take basic precautions. Petty crimes can be an issue, especially in those touristy areas, so always keep an eye on your belongings and be smart. Personally, I've always felt safe on the west side of Costa Rica. Even at night, I felt safe as a woman. I felt safe as a woman of color as well. However, I did not feel safe on the east coast of Costa Rica, which we experienced for the first time. And we had major security issues there. Our accommodation ended up being near a small drug cartel in Puerto Viejo. We felt very unsafe, and we had to leave in a rush, which cost us thousands of dollars because we were so uncomfortable there. So I'm gonna rate two things separately. If I rate the West Coast, without a doubt, it's a 10 out of 10. However, if I rate Puerto Viejo, which is what we experienced, it's a 3 out of 10. Honestly, it was one of the worst travel experiences of my life. So this would give an average of 6.5 out of 10, which I'm not sure is that fair. So I don't want to judge a whole entire country based on one tiny part. So if you stick to the West Coast, 10 out of 10, you will not encounter any security issues in Costa Rica, to my knowledge or experience. Before moving on to the cost of living, I hope this information is valuable to you and that it's helping you decide whether you want to make Costa Rica your next destination or not. If you've learned anything, if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and support my channel by subscribing. It's totally free for you, but this is what will motivate me to keep doing these videos and keep sharing my travel knowledge with you guys. So I'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Now let's move on to the cost of living. I have done a full dive video about this topic here if you want to check it out. But in short, Costa Rica is definitely not the cheapest place in Latin America. This is not a budget-friendly destination if you are on a tight budget. So in my opinion, Costa Rica is overpriced, but also considering things like security, access to food, and the lifestyle, there's kind of a part of me that understands why it's pricier than other destinations in Central America, Latin America. And if you're earning a stronger currency like USD or Euro, you might think that Costa Rica is totally okay. However, it can be really expensive for any other currency. On average, we have spent $2,000 a month on accommodation, but for us that was completely outrageous because these were definitely lower end accommodations, no luxury whatsoever, and we would always have like a tiny little loft or something that just didn't feel that comfortable. Nicer accommodations ranged from 2,500 to 3,500 USD per month, and for that kind of money we just know that we could be living like kings and queens elsewhere, so we did feel a bit shortchanged there. Going to a co-working space was about 20 USD a day. Transportation is pricier than everywhere else. A surfboard is like $9 an hour. So basically all of the prices are vastly inflated, and it makes it really difficult to live there for a long period of time as a digital nomad. For all of those reasons, I rate Costa Rica's cost of living right in the middle with a 5 out of 10. It is overpriced, but it's also somehow worth the money in a weird way. Let me know if you guys agree or not, and how you would rate the cost of living in Costa Rica in the comments. I'm really curious to hear what you guys think and what the people who have visited have to say about it. That's it for this week's video. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you've learned anything valuable or if you like this information, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys next week. Bye. Pura Vida.